Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back with another LEGO Star Wars 2016 Winter Set Build and Review. So this time I am back with the Hoth Attack set number 75138, ages 7 to 12, comes with 233 pieces and it's going to be retained for £20 or $30. A very similar price and piece to the Carbon Freezing Chamber, which I literally just reviewed. Now this set, in my opinion, I mean obviously I haven't built it yet, but I think it does look very nice. We haven't had episode 5 Hoth Attack for actually a little while. Not a massive amount of time, I think the last time was in 2013, but I didn't actually unfortunately get that. I really did want it, but unfortunately it just sort of didn't happen, and I, believe it or not, never had a Hoth set of any kind. I mean, I've had an 8080, but that is literally it. This is a big moment for me. I really would love to build up my Hoth Echo base and things like that, because I really think the Hoth battle was really cool to watch. But unfortunately, I've never got any Hoth sets, not even a snow speeder. So, yeah. But here we are, we're back with this set. The probe droid looks awesome, and I'm kind of glad it was only £20. When I looked at the pictures originally, you know, like a couple months ago or whatever, I wasn't sure. I thought it was maybe a bit more, but I'm glad it was pretty cheap, you know, along with a lot of the other sets. So yeah, let's just go now and build the Hoth Attack. The build took a little longer than the chamber freezing thing took, just because actually it took me a little while to realise what pieces went where, because there's almost so much white in the set, which I appreciate sounds weird, but just in terms of like when it said to put a white piece somewhere, it's like, oh, where's that? You know, this is kind of one of those things. But anyway, you wouldn't think that I've been building Lego for like 10 years. But even so, okay, so let's now go on to the minifigures, which are pretty cool, but nothing too special. Alright, so first up we have Han Solo in his Hoth uniform thing. Now, you may be aware, or you may not, in some previous Hoth sets we've seen him in like blue coat and things like that. Now, the reason for this, and there's actually quite a lot of debate about whether or not he wore a brown or a blue coat in the actual film, because there are various scenes where it kind of looks like either. It's almost like, if you will, what colour is the dress from, like, you know, 2015. Oh, I remember that. But anyway, in terms of like actually like ever since that film came out in 1980, everyone's been talking about like, is it blue or is it brown? And officially it is actually brown. Like the actual, when they went to the actual like production thing, they officially confirmed it is actually brown. So this is actually accurate, and all the blue ones aren't accurate, believe it or not. But even so, he comes with a little blaster here. Nothing massively special to talk about. There you go, he comes with the white gloves and stuff like that. He looks very accurate, I think. I believe there was a promotional poly bag like in 2013? I don't know. But like I made the 4th promotional poly bag where you got him in the brown. I never got that, but it's nice to get him in, which is pretty cool. You can see there he's got grey-ish legs, and then with the printing on top of that. So, you know, I don't think that's that bad actually, because printing dark onto light isn't that bad. It's just the other way around when it's bad. Got the hood, of course, which is not, well, I mean, it's not like part of the thing, obviously. But yeah, you can see there his torch printing, pretty nice, you know, nice little stuff there. A fair amount of detail, pretty good. I'm not sure you can see it that well because of the brown and how it shows up on the camera, but there is actually quite a lot of detail on it. Very nice. Moving it back, we do have a double-sided face. This is his, if you will, I don't know, in the wilderness face. I don't know. How would you got that face? I don't know. But anyway, so, yeah, so, again, more the printing just continues on the back, which is very nice. But yeah, really, there's not much amount to say. It's cool to get him, of course. I would kind of expect him. I guess if they're going to be a larger version of this, I mean, of course, there has also been talk of a UCS Echo base, which well, there was talk it was going to come in 2015, but obviously it didn't. So who knows, it may come this year, if at all. But we have nothing confirmed as of yet, I believe. I'm not sure. But yeah, so the hood itself, of course, looks very nice. But if we do, then that'd be cool. But if we don't, I kind of wouldn't mind. Just like the freezing chamber, I wouldn't mind if we got a larger Hoth base, because we got one in 2011, which for some reason no one seemed to like. I don't know. I mean, I never got it, but to me, I think it looked decent. You know, at least it didn't look awful. Well, I guess it was just me, but it seemed like no one liked the 2011 one. But it's just, to me, I really want to get more and more Hoth sets, because this is my first one ever, and I think the Hoth battle was really, really cool, quite frankly. I think the vehicles look cool. But yeah, so nonetheless, he's a very cool guy, very cool minifigure, and it's cool to get him again, because I've never got him, but I guess if you've got him before, then, you know, at least you get the best version as of yet, because I believe that this is the best version, so yeah. There you go, that's more or less it to him. Let's go on to the Imperial Snowtrooper. Alright, so next up we have the Imperial Snowtrooper, of course. It's the exact same one we got on the 2014 AT-AT and the Snowspeeder. Wow, 2014 sounds so far away. But anyway, so yeah, the exact same one. I don't think we actually got Snowtrooper since that point. God, it feels just like yesterday I was reviewing the AT-AT, but that's beside the point. Anyway, so this guy is still pretty cool. You know, of course, you can use him for your Galactic Marines in the Clone Wars, of course, which seems to be really popular, actually, despite the fact we only saw them for like a few minutes in the Clone Wars. But even so, he comes with a standard weapon. Thank God he doesn't come with the weapons we have in the battle packs. Oh, Lego, why? You know we don't want them. Just don't, please. But anyway, so he does come with a waistcape, which is pretty nice. The same old white, you know, had before, which is pretty cool. And of course, unlike the previous designs, his helmet is detachable, which I actually really do like. I like the fact his backpack isn't attached and stuff like that, and it just feels better. But yeah, he's got the standard trooper head, and of course, just like the other ones, he has that printing on the back with his backpack and stuff like that. To me, the backpack looks a little small. I'm not sure I mentioned that in my review of the AT-AT, but it looks a little small compared to his body, but, you know, it's not the biggest deal, I guess. Printing though is pretty nice. I don't think it's any different whatsoever, or the back, so nothing massively to say about him. Of course, it is only a £20 set, so I guess it was intended. You know, I can't argue that it should have more minifigures, because of course, if it did, then it would have been a more expensive set. But yeah, so nonetheless, pretty cool. Again, if we get a UCS one, hopefully we'll get more of these guys, because they are pretty cool. And yeah, very nice. Apparently everyone seems to be fussed about the, what are they, like the, about to UCS, the First Order Snowtroopers. Everyone loves them. I think they're pretty cool. I'm not sure which one's better. Leave down in the comments, which one do you think is better, these Snowtroopers or the First Order ones? So yeah, moving on then to the last figure, we have the Rebel Snowtrooper. Alright, so next up we have the Rebel Snowtrooper, or it's just called Rebel Trooper actually. So this guy is pretty cool, and actually I've never had one of him before ever either, because again, the only Hoth set I've ever had is the AT-AT. But yeah, so this guy is very, very nice, of course. I mean, his helmet we have seen before in previous Hoth sets, and in fact in some other sets as well, from like battle packs and various different things, but of course they're different colours than that, so that's pretty nice. I guess that this backpack, which we haven't seen in a very long while. When you really think about it, we only really saw these in like Indiana Jones sets and other things. We have seen it in Star Wars, but they are pretty rare. We don't see them that much anymore because, you know, there's now a lot of different battle packs you can give people. I believe this printing is new. Again, I've never had one before, so I don't actually know. But I believe this printing, especially on the legs as well, is also new, and like the look of it, because I think normally they're just fully white, but with the if you would say light bluish grey, I guess is what you would say that colour. Like the gloves and the legs, yeah, that's pretty nice. It gives a change. It's pretty nice. But yeah, so the printing on the front is pretty nice as well. All good, all good. There is no back printing. I mean, on the face. I mean, there is back printing on his back, and he comes with a rifle, which is pretty cool. So no, normally we don't even see that. I just realised we don't see that many rifles anymore, and I just realised we also get a pistol, a regular weapon, and a rifle. Isn't that funny? But anyway. So there you go, that's more or less it, the Rebel Trooper. Pretty nice, again, you know, kind of what you'd expect from this sort of set, because it is, you know, a Hoth set. But yeah, still pretty cool, pretty nice to get him, and finally I've got one, so that's always very cool. Okay, so let's move on to the Probe Droid and the Little Cannon. So moving on to the Focus, which is of course the main set itself. This is actually really cool, and it's really nice that it can fold up and be quite compact and put in a small space. And actually this is very, very good if you like need to save on space, but you really want to build like a Hoth thing, you know, very, very nice. It can fold out, however, if you can probably guess. You simply pull this side from here. Then you can pretty much guess how that peg goes in, and simply it keeps folding around, just folding around. And yeah, and it can sort of go into a long stream like that, more or less. I kind of prefer it, in all honesty, in like a circle type thing, but it can fold all around if you want it to. I like the fact it's not entirely white. There is a lot of white, obviously, but it's not entirely white. There is other colours to give it more depth, because that is more accurate, of course. So I do like that. You've got a spade here, of course, shovel. So, you know, if you want to dig in, there's no wrench. I don't know what you'd be doing. But this is a control panel here. This is a sticker. Unfortunately, there are two stickers. One's here, one's there. But nonetheless, a guy, I guess, is meant to sit there or something. I'm not entirely sure. But of course, you have this piping as well that goes around, which is a very nice feature. I like that. But yeah, really, there's just a lot of little things. On the turret itself, you get these two spring-loaded shoes, which actually kind of, I thought was different. Normally you don't get two in like a £20 set, but nonetheless, you get two. I think you more or less guess how they work. You more or less pull them down, and I shot them both at once, and one of them went off the table. Whoopsie daisy. Well, at least you get an extra one, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, all that good stuff. Again, that's not really accurate, to clarify. I don't know why I'm talking as if you haven't seen Star Wars. But anyway, so yeah, this does open. I was kind of surprised it didn't have a sticker actually. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, and I think it still looks very cool. But I was just kind of surprised. Anyway, so a guy can sit there. Of course, you can't have him sit there if you put the thing down on top of him because he's too tall. But even so, that's a little cannon. It doesn't really do anything. It just, you know, spins, I guess, if you want it to. I suppose you would say the only feature apart from the fact it opens up is the fact that you can turn this turret with this knob, which is a pretty cool design in my opinion. Although it's not really the biggest deal, I guess, because there's not as much any particular reason for this other than like just playability, like for kids or something. Because if you can do a stop motion, you could just turn this manually and it wouldn't really matter. So really, this knob isn't a massive help. It's like, well, I can just turn that. You know, it's not the biggest deal. But even so, it's still, I guess, cool to have it there. It's cool to have more features. It's all good. But yeah, some very nice pieces in here, by the way. Of course, obviously, as I've said, a lot of white. But a lot of these pieces can be used. You want to part out, you know, put it on bricklink. I feel this is definitely more something you'd part out as opposed to like buy multiples and invest in and, you know, like try to resell them in years. I don't really think that's this sort of set. I would recommend highly that you piece it out and, you know, use a lot of pieces of different things. Perhaps you want to build a much larger echo base or something, because I feel a lot of pieces in here, a lot of slopes, a lot of, you know, different things are very useful and could be used in any sort of white mock, if you will. Maybe if you're doing a city, you might want to do like a winter theme type thing. But yeah, that is more it then to the set. There's not a massive amount to go over. Again, it's just a £20 set, but nonetheless, I think it does really, really capture a small part of Echo Base, I feel. It really is pretty cool. And actually, I feel this is a set that you could get multiples of, because it's not like one of those sets like Darth Vader's tie, where it's like, oh, well, you only really have one. It really is one of those things where you could kind of put them together, you'd have multiple towers, and I think it would look really cool, actually. So I really do think this is something you could get multiples of if you wanted to really build it up. Perhaps, you know, put them in different things, so it literally doesn't look like, you know, that sort of stuff. But nonetheless, I think it's a pretty cool set. And yeah, actually, that's more or less it to it. Let's now go on the instruction manual of the box and include this review. Alright, so the instruction manual, again, is the exact same size as the one we've got the carbon freezing chamber, I do believe. Actually, it might be a little larger. I don't know. But anyway, so the same old thing we got in the back of all the other ones. Master your force, which doesn't grammatically make sense. Is grammatically a word? I don't know. But yeah, so pretty quick build. I mean, I'd say it maybe took a little longer than the carbon freezing chamber, just because, I mean, it has like two more pieces, but also just because there's kind of a lot of little things, and maybe, well, I'm not sure actually. The carbon freezing chamber did have a lot of Technics, so I don't know. But yeah, you get one of the minifigures, like you get Han in the first bag, and then the other two come in the second bag, so it's all pretty good. And in fact, you actually build the entire, like, Hoth thing before you build the probe droid or the cannon. They kind of leave that till last, so there you go. But that's more or less the instruction manual. Not much to say, as with all instruction manuals, but let's just go in the box. Alright, so moving on to the box. The box, of course, is pretty simple. Not much to say here. I think you've probably seen the box art before. Probe droid, nice little scene on Hoth, all very good. Notice in the box art it's got the thing there to stand. I thought it was kind of odd. But anyway, so, you know, just going over the features I mentioned, that it can open, swivels, you know, all that sort of stuff. All that good stuff. Got the inventory and kind of cool stuff. It's kind of funny how they include the spare. So yeah, but that guy Han is apparently trying to beat the guy with the shovel. Don't know really why. I don't know why you wouldn't use your weapon, but still. Yeah, that's more or less it to the box. Very cool. Same as all the other £20 sets. And let's just now go and conclude this review. So I hope you enjoyed my review of the Hoth Attack. If you did, please do give it a like. It'd be very much appreciated. But yeah, so this set is definitely a very, very nice set, as I've said a few times. I wouldn't say it's the best of the line, nor would I say it's the worst. I mean, for me, I probably like it a little more than most people, just because I've never had one of these before, and personally, I've always really wanted to build more of a Hoth sort of scene, because I've just never, ever really got into it, and I think the vehicles and stuff are really cool. But yeah, so for 20 quid, again, if this is really good, even if you haven't had a Hoth one, or if you have had one before, because it's kind of an add-on to it. Unless you've got like an insanely large Hoth collection, you really don't need anything else, then this is pretty cool. But in all honesty, if you can pick it up, I would recommend picking it up. It's, again, not the best set, and I would recommend a few other sets over it, say if you haven't got a lot of money, don't have the money to spend on it. But if you do, and you're thinking, you know, should I get this, or like Obi-Wan's Giant Interceptor, or the Droid Escape, whatever, I would definitely recommend this. I'd probably recommend this after the Freezing Chamber, because I think that's a pretty cool set as well. But yeah, the minifigures are pretty cool, decent, you know, if you haven't had them before, then awesome. But, you know, you don't really know, I mean, I guess it'd be cool to have another Han, because he's the best one yet, and it'd be cool to have another Stormtrooper, another Rebel Trooper. You can never have too many, and the Pro Droid's the coolest, but again, none of this is so unbelievably awesome. It's not one of those, like, incredibly 10 out of 10 sets, but, you know, for what it is, I think it's pretty good, it's pretty cool, I enjoy it, and I'm definitely glad I bought it. But yeah, so that is more or less it to my review of it. I hope you did enjoy it. And the next sets will be the Battle on Takodana, I'm going to get that right, and the Resistance Troop Transport, and then that'll be it to my entire line. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time in another review. Bye, troops. What I'd say the main feature is the fact it can fold out, if I can find it. Why can't I fold this out? It won't fold out. What the hell? Why won't it fold out? Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, I'm a moron. Oh yeah, of course the turret itself can rotate actually independently. I actually forgot to point it out. Did I? No, I didn't. It can't! Oh, crap. I can't do it independently. Oh, the box is deceiving me.